Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today I am continuing my Studio Ghibli watch through with Pom Poko, directed by Isao Takahata. A colony of shape-shifting raccoons sick of deforestation use their shape-shifting abilities to try and drive out the human menace. Before I get into this review, if you do like what I do on this channel, consider clicking that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out with the algorithm, and let me know what your favourite Ghibli film is down in the comments below. But without further ado, let's get into this review. So for starters, almost as if they are trying to apologise for the lackluster animation in Porco Rosso, the animation in Pom Poko is effectively just the entire animation studio flexing their muscles. There are some great set pieces within this movie. The whole concept of shape-shifting raccoons is pushed to the absolute limit and leads some amazing sequences where they're just demonstrating their abilities to an almost obscene, in fact, no, it is an obscene amount of animation transitions that take place on screen. Hand-drawn animation is a tough form of animation that isn't done a lot these days because it costs less to do CGI, I think. I'm not 100% sure, so if you're an animator, please let me know why don't we see more hand-drawn animations these days, because this was just an eye-opener to watch. This film also had some great character designs. Each main character had its own unique specific design that really stuck out, so you would always be able to tell who was who you had to care about. Everyone else had a very generic look to them, but those that were given names and personality were given these unique looks. But I have to say, in terms of actual characters, I wouldn't say there's many people that are memorable in this. There is a couple of these raccoons that are the big players. I couldn't tell you their names off the top of my head 24 hours after watching the movie. The only one that I remember is the Benny Rodriguez style Kill All Humans one, Gunter I think his name was, and I think I probably got that wrong as well. The problem with this is that there was a lot of characters in this, but there were no names that really stuck out to me or jumped out to me. And now maybe that is a language barrier for myself. I mean, I have watched a fair bit of anime, but maybe I still struggle to memorize certain anime characters' names, and that becomes more of a struggle. But I did remember the character designs, and that was arguably one of the strongest points of this film, is it made sure to give each main raccoon that you had to care about a eye-popping design that would stand out so you know who they were and who their motivations were. Honestly, I was worried going into this because it holds like an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, while I don't take everything Rotten Tomatoes says to heart, the fact that this is one of the few Ghibli films that is less than 90%, I had to think, why would people have problems with this film? Now, there are two key points that I think are the reasons. For one, this film is a bit too long. You could have shaved 20 minutes off this film and you would have been given the same effect. This is very much an anti-deforestation, pro-nature movie. It does a great job of making the raccoons sympathetic and make the humans look sinister and evil, but also shows their side of the story as well. But there's a certain point of the film where you feel like this is the big crux, this is the big climactic scene, we can end shortly after this. And the film continues on for about another 20 to 30 minutes, and it just starts to drag you down. It is a very drawn out movie, 2 hours in length, and don't get it wrong, I love a 2 hour length movie, but you could have shaved 20 to 30 minutes off this quite easily and just skipped over a couple of beats. The other problem is the anatomy, let's say, because there are obviously male and female raccoons, and the way they demonstrated this was the females would obviously, have jugs, and the males would have balls, and there were a lot of balls in this. It was fine because, we have to know who's the male, who's the females from the folk things, that's fine, but it's the fact that there was a lot of times where these male raccoons used their balls to create some shape-shifting. Oh, it's easily the most anime thing I've seen in any Ghibli film so far. There's a scene where they're sat on a carpet talking to one of the senseis, and sensei says, guess what this carpet is you're sitting on? And it's literally his ball sack that's just stretched out to form a carpet. It's weird. This is a very weird one. This has a great message of this movie, but it's overshadowed by a lot of ball jokes. Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that pulled this film down for me, especially this big climactic scene that was supposed to be tragic, I'm assuming, but ends up just being weirdly amusing, and it shouldn't be, especially after all the build-up. So that does knock the film down for me. It is a shame because this film is really well executed. I love the dialogue. I love how the narrator carries us through this film, a bit like a David Attenborough style narration. There were some great animation set pieces. Like I said, the animators are flexing their muscles and their skills throughout this film as the transformations of these raccoons gets more and more and more just mind-blowing. So overall for me, Pom Poko is probably one of my favourites I've seen so far. It does carry a lot of good messages in it. It felt like a very more, I wouldn't say down to earth, but it felt like a slightly better Watership Down, where it didn't go over the top with its score and effects and focused primarily on the story of these raccoons trying to counter deforestation. But with certain elements like the runtime just being a little bit too long in my opinion, where it just started to drag towards the end, and just the amount of reliance they had on ball humour at times, even in scenes that were supposed to be serious, it felt like they were just doing a lot of ball humour, does knock the film down considerably for me. And I will say it does have a bit of a bittersweet ending. I love myself a bittersweet ending, but the fact is, by the time we got to this ending, I was already done with this movie 20 minutes previously. I was exhausted. It was mentally draining. So honestly, the only thing that really holds this film down is them two major things. But these are two big things in my honest opinion. So overall, I'm going to have to say that Pom Poko is a good cup of tea. So Pom Poko, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Again, to help me with the algorithm, if you like the video, click that like button. And if you are the 95% of the people that are not subscribed to the channel, then consider changing that today. Coming up next, we have Whisper of the Heart, which has a first-time director in the Studio Ghibli verse, breaking the mold of Hayao and Isao directing these movies. Looking forward to seeing that one, and we hopefully will get through all of them by the end of this month. But until next time, my name is Josh, I have been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thank you for watching, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more reviews coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.